We use thousands and thousands of words every single day, most of the time without even thinking about it. They're just tools, right? But what if some of the simplest, most common words are actually hiding a surprising amount of power? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on one of those words.
I mean, seriously, what if a word that you probably use all the time is in fact a linguistic powerhouse? A tiny key that unlocks a whole way of communicating really complex ideas. A word so essential that it was handpicked for a very, very special project. And the word we're talking about is seem. Yeah, I know, it doesn't exactly look like much, does it? It's short, it's common. But you'll see that its simplicity is precisely what makes it so brilliant. See, seem isn't just any old word. It's got a VIP pass to an incredibly exclusive club, a list that was put together for a really specific and, honestly, ambitious purpose. And here's the magic number, 850. That's it. That's how many members are in this club. But what does that even mean? What kind of list has only 850 words on it? And here's the big reveal. It's the basic English 850 list. This was a project to create a simplified, super functional version of English that basically anyone in the world could learn quickly. The whole goal was to pick the 850 most essential words you'd need to express almost any idea. And our little word, seem, made the cut. So what on earth makes it so important? All right, let's dive into our first section, how seem works. To really get why it earned its spot on that exclusive list, we gotta break down what this word actually does.
Okay, so let's look at the official meaning here. The key phrase is the way you think it is. It's all about perception. It's not about how things are in reality, but how you perceive them to be based on the evidence you have. That's actually a pretty complex idea to pack into one simple four-letter word. So, for example, here it's being used to talk about a past impression. The idea might not have been crazy at all, but that's how it felt at the time. It lets you share a judgment based on the information you had back then. Now, this one's really clever. Here, it's used to kind of get ahead of what other people might think. The speaker's basically saying, hey, I know this sounds a little strange, but hear me out. It's a way of acknowledging someone else's potential judgment before you even state the fact. And this is probably its most common use. It's how we state a personal opinion without sounding too aggressive. Instead of declaring, we must try again, which sounds like a command, saying, it seems to me, frames it as your personal take. It kind of opens the door for a discussion instead of shutting it down. And grammatically, this word is an absolute dream. It's completely regular, seem, seems, seemed. No weird exceptions to memorize. For a language system that's designed to be easy to learn, that kind of simple, predictable grammar is a huge, huge plus. So that brings up a good question. Why seem? Why not a word like look or appear or feel? Well, let's get into the nuance here, because this is what makes seem a real heavyweight. This chart really gets to the heart of it. Words like look or sound, they're tied directly to our senses. They're raw data. But seem is different. Seem is what your brain does after it gets all that data. It's the judgment you form. It's a much more abstract word that wraps up appearance, opinion, and feeling all into one neat package. So here's the bottom line. Seem is like the bridge between the objective outside world and our subjective inner world. It gives us a simple, elegant tool to talk about subjectivity, uncertainty, and our own personal perspective. If you only have 850 words to work with, you absolutely need a way to talk about that messy, internal human experience. And Seem does that job perfectly. Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. This brings us to the bigger picture here, because the story of Seem isn't just about one word. It's about a whole philosophy of language. The entire idea behind basic English is built on this foundation, that a small set of powerful, really versatile words is way more effective than a massive, complicated vocabulary. It creates a shared starting point that lets us build complex ideas from simple, sturdy parts. And seem is one of those crucial foundational parts. And that's really the ultimate takeaway, isn't it? In language, just like in technology or design or anything else, the most powerful tools are often the simplest ones. Seem is the perfect proof of that. One little unassuming word that carries the entire weight of nuance, opinion, and human perception. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other everyday words are we all using that are doing this incredible work right under our noses? What's the secret power of a word like get, or make, or be? Maybe, just maybe, the most powerful parts of our language are the ones we notice the least.